So what I'm getting at is that I have this really special journey, right? This 30-year journey, unique, unprecedented journey, that really pushed me down, like to say, into the depths, the gutter, the basement of American life, due to circumstances beyond my control. And I really saw what our real challenges are, okay? And so that's why I'm saying it's deeper. A lot of people are up here and wanting to make their mark on the surface, going back and forth, all this kind of thing, be it Trump or be it, immigration, whatever it is. But, and look, I'm not taking away people's valid opinions, but, if we really want to solve, right? If we really want to resolve situations, my message is, I don't know everything, but I know that the roots of the challenges are deeper. Okay, even than political, Democrat, Republican, Trump, all this kind of thing, that it's really a psychology that's off kilter at our core. Be it in our legal system, financial, health, there's a mentality. And, I've been pushed into that very deeply and come up with solutions. And, one of the things I want to say is that, why I'm saying that it's about fanaticism versus humanity is that, fanaticism are those, not just who are extreme. I mean, a couple things about people with fanatical views. One, they don't want a resolution. Two, they take a tiny bit of truth and blow it up into all these things. And three, in a way, they're going to live on the edges. And when I say the edges, what I'm getting at in terms of benevolence or commonality even, is most of us just want to, life's hard enough, right? For most people, their life can be challenging enough. And so most people want good roads, quality schools, safer communities. And, what people don't see is that, fanatical perspectives, fighting with one another, create more divisiveness, add more insecurity to our landscapes and all this. So, it's like 70 or 80% would agree on certain things, or more, or less in some cases. Good roads, schools, bridges, whatever it be. But our discussions are hijacked. And so that's what, my life and work's about. That's what I'm advocating. That's what I teach through our Gentle Genius coaching for company, helping people to really, that's why I say purpose is so key, because, purpose, I say, is deeper than opinion. Opinion's up here. Purpose is in your gut. It's something you go with. And what we do is help companies, families, and individuals identify their goodness, forge it into purpose, and then communicate it appropriately and assertively in our world. And when you do that, you're not creating undue enemies. You're just being who you are meant to be, and you realize there are boundaries, there are parameters which you can't go beyond, and all this kind of thing. And I guess that's, a benevolence, as I call it, or maybe commonality, even is a better word. But that's the real discussion. And what I'm saying to people is that a lot of people are being distracted up here and fighting when the deeper issues are underneath. If you saw someone fall down on the street, would you go to help them up? I'd like to think more of us would than we're teaching now. And so that's what we're teaching, benevolence, a care, and just, this common commonality among us, right? And that's what we've got to have. So stop and think a little bit. And that's why I say, Gentle Genius Coaching, we're teaching a different way of thinking, a better way, if you will. Because don't get dragged into petty discussions. When you have your purpose, you're not going to get involved in frivolous things, okay? And we have to understand, most of us have to start to understand that the fight up here, back and forth, is not a great good use of our time. That we've got to come to more of a sense of solutions. And that's what my life and work's about. And I do want to say this because, the fanatical perspectives take us away from the real work and from the benevolence, the goodness, the compassion most of us would want to have in terms of building a better society, because fanatic perspectives don't build. And that's what it really comes down to. There's got to be creativity, there's got to be building.